Zaga, zaga, zai, zai, zai. Zai, zai, zai. Hey, yo, son, boy.
We're here tonight for the Design Indaba Street competition, and it's the launch of the soccer field project that we've made. It's the first phase of an ongoing community development project for this public space.
We want to make this whole space an entire recreational area for the community to enjoy.
We were approached by the Design Indaba team, and it was an answer to prayer, you know, basically to get involved and come on board with what they were involved in.
The idea that we had was for sport, to draw the community closer to each other, sort of the idea that sport will get our kids off the streets, get them into more positive and productive activities, and also I think leading into the idea that if we cultivate a positive team community sort of sense, that the community will start looking after each other and the project itself, and I think in that sense it's going to be a knock-on effect to being a safer, healthier, happier community.
The main aim for our committee is to develop the recreation spaces in Kensington and Flagship, and we were wondering, especially for this area, how to develop this park in particular.
We're going to green the area completely. We're going to build dry areas for people, and this ideas of creating an amphitheatre where it could possibly be a gathering place for community activities.
How can we bring soul, life and other elements to community lives and to communities that are not as, how would I say, privileged as other communities?
Tonight, Philips is going to be turning on their lights, and they've kindly donated us several solar floodlights.
Light has a big impact on communities in terms of safety, in terms of their social cohesion and spending more time together, but also economically, because many of the sites are off-grid, and it means that people become less dependent on paraffin and candles, and there's a safety factor there. But longer term, there's a health and well-being. There's a healthier aspect to it, and there's a very serious safety aspect for people moving around at night time in the darkness.
What struck us the most in a very positive way was the fact that it's going to be all solar energy, the whole renewable, sustainable, recyclable bottle walls that's going to be built.
The next phase is to start developing. We're starting to refine our actual bottle wall seating areas, community seating areas. We've refined our community dance floor, where it's become more of almost like an amphitheatre. And then phase 3 obviously would be the graffiti projects we're going to start incorporating into the actual benches itself.
It's created a great awareness as well, especially amongst the children, because we're going to involve them in building the bottle wall and collecting the bottles for that. So that was the main aim, is to include the children especially. You know, get them involved, get them aware of recycling.
You know, many years back, there was nothing in this area for us. But I'm grateful for the councillor to help us. It's not for me or for the councillor, it's for the kids. And we say, Viva the children.
We've had good response, I think, when we've actually dealt personally with people, telling them about the project. So we had to collect signatures, we had to do a petition for the city parks to show that the community was behind it. So when we've gone door to door and doing those things, the community have been very enthusiastic about it.
Brings sort of the idea of design into guys from the city and city council who approach it from a very sort of more engineering, technical point of view to a large extent. And I think we're sitting with a lot of our city parks designs and design of public spaces is it's sort of still working on a whole legacy, the sort of leftover from the 70s really, sort of the standard playground equipment. And I think really taking design as a problem-solving sort of exercise and talking to communities and finding out what they need to make their public space something that's more valuable and useful and positive for them. And I think it has a lot of value, this design approach to this kind of project.
I like the fact that the spotlight is on the fact that in a community that always has had a bad reputation, a lot of good can come from it.
I believe that, you know, being the design capital of 2014, this kind of initiative and project certainly would inspire a whole new generation to look at things differently.
That's why we chase them out of town, place them out of town, in case them not know, mix and blend at the top.